Hi, I thought I'd pop back and apologise. I cleared my phone down of photographs and videos and things, deleted them all, thinking I'd made enough room on there to film the whole project. Little did I know that once you delete your photographs and films, they go somewhere else and have to be deleted from there as well on your smartphone. Who knew? I didn't. Surely I'm not the only one. Hey ho. So I apologise for that, and I'll just do a quick overview and explain the little parts that I missed on the video. You saw I get painted, so basically what I did was I went in with a black micron pen, and I always go in and do the lines first around the eyes and the eyelashes with a fine micron pen. I love the plastic nibs for doing this because obviously the plastic nib, you can't damage it. It glides across the acrylic paint and the texture of the canvas quite smoothly, and obviously it's not fibre, so you don't damage any fibres with it being a plastic nib. So I will always go over with a fine liner first before I then go over with a black Posca pen. Because that way, if you go wrong with a fine black permanent line, a fine line's easier to get rid of, conceal, start again, and then go over with the dark. So that's my theory with using the fine liner first. I do all the dark work and then I go over and make sure everything is perfectly dry before I go back over and add any white highlights. At the moment I'm using the Jane Davenport Storytime paint pen. I'm quite liking these, although it's a bullet tip. I don't have any fine lines at the moment. My white Posca ran out, and it seems everybody in the world wants a fine line white Posca pen at the moment. Can't find one anywhere in the UK. So that's kind of my chosen pen for highlighting. So I'll go on and I'll doodle, I'll add centres to flowers. And yeah, that basically was what you missed. It was just a lot of doodling and a little bit of shading and going around the edges with a purple pencil. What did I use? Polychromo pencil it was, and I just went around the edges just to add a little shading around there. But today I've looked at the canvas again. I think there's just a couple of little changes I want to make, so I thought I'm going to do these with you, and then you can see how that works if you're not entirely happy. I mean, I've got 4 flowers and I do things in odd numbers. Why did I do 4 flowers? So we're going to change that. I've got my white gesso, which you know I love, and it's yummy and thick. I mean, look at that. That is going nowhere. So I am going to take some of my white gesso and I'm just going to move the canvas down a little bit, and I'm going to create, I think I'm going to create a flower here, and I'm going to do one of my squiggly wigglies. So that'll be a 5 petal squiggly. So I'll just add in, I'll take it over her face. I'm sure she won't mind. But what we're doing is we're just creating, we're just blanking out some of the colour. And do we want any more flowers anywhere else? I'm wondering. No, quite happy with the flower situation. But what I might do is I might add in some leaves. Now, I'm not going to bother gessoing out for the leaves because we're going on, the green's quite a strong colour anyway, and these paints are hybrid paints, so they go onto any surface and they've got great coverage on there. Let's just not get looped in all these wires. So I'm just going to give that a quick dry, and I want to add another colour into the flowers as well, and if I'm going to add colour into the flowers I want to add it somewhere else on the canvas. So I want to bring a little bit of this gorgeous orange, because to me the colours of Mexico are always really bright, vibrant, turquoises, oranges, pinks, purples, and I think that's what you need with you. The flower crowns have got to be bright. So we're going to bring in some orange into this one. I'm just going to build up a tiny amount of colour. So I'm going to give this a shake, holding onto the lid. And make sure that everything is mixed in. Oh, I'm getting company. This is light orange. Okay, dog number 1's in. 3 more to come. And oops, there we go. Let's just see, there might actually be enough in that lid. So we'll take the paint from in the lid, hate waste. I'm just going to go over and add some blobs on there. Okay, so there's a little blob of a flower, and while I'm in there and I've got the end of that brush, I'm going to go back into my lid without splattering everywhere. Oh, that's dried up a bit, so wet bit. Technical tool and a paintbrush, and I'm going to add some orange dots on that flower to the centre. Okay, not too many. She says adding more. Can't help it, that's just me. More is more. And we'll do the other pink flower. Okay. And then close that one off, clean the end of the paintbrush, because you know what I'll do with that one. And then what I think I will do is just go into the centre of the orange flower and add a tiny amount of this delicious fuchsia paint. So we'll give her a shake. Oh, this is the one, the lid won't come off this one. Fuchsia. So we'll do the same again. We'll just pop into the lid. It needs a paint palette. And we will just add a little into there. Just cleaning the excess off onto a rag. And this paintbrush has actually got lines in, which is great for doing flower petals. So we'll pop you there, and we'll give that a little dry down. So today's actually Sunday, and it's actually quite a nice bright morning here in North Wales. I'm looking at the sea. We live at the seaside in Colwyn Bay, and we're quite high up on the hill. We're not at the top of the hill, but we're a fair way up, so we get good views and we can watch the boats coming in. And I love to watch the waves change. When the weather changes, the waves become angry, the colours change in the sea. And I love watching the waves get choppy and bigger, and then there are no ferries on the horizon because they've all been stopped. I don't think I'd want to be on one of those in choppy weather. But this morning is just a beautiful, beautiful, bright morning. This is what summer's about. We've had a lot of rain. We're ready for a little more sunshine. I'm definitely in sunshine mode at the moment. I'll just dry this off a tad more because I will lean in these. So I'm afraid this video is real time, so we'll keep it as short as we can. Okay, we'll leave those to dry, and fingers crossed I won't lean in them. Okay, so there we have the base for the flower, and this is actually quite good because I can actually now show you what I did with the other flowers. So just let that cool down a smidgen, and I'm going to make a couple more changes. I'm going to actually bling her up a little bit. I think in the original drawing she had a necklace, so I was going to give her a necklace, and then I painted it out and changed the neckline, and I'm going to give her a necklace because to me Frida always had earrings in, and she always had a choker of some sort, and I just think she needs a little bit of bling. She needs a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of metallic gold in there somewhere, so we're going to do something in there. So this flower is now cool enough for me to scribble on, so I'm working with a Posca, and this is a 1mm Posca. Oh no, 0.7, sorry, not 0.7mm. So I'm going to give it a quick shake, make sure it's moving, test it on my mat, just get the paint coming through. Not that you can see black on black, but hey. So I'm just going to do my quick Doodlee Flowers, and the way I do, just rough, 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 into the centre, out again. And these are kind of my 5-petal flowers, and they're just very sketchy, very floaty. Could be absolutely any kind of flower that you want. Okay, so when you've been around a couple of times, or 3, I'm going to add some black dots in along the lines. That's just me. I always add dots into things. I hate straight lines. I'm not a clean line kind of person. I like to see the workings of things, and I like sketchy art. So we've gone over with the black, and that's starting to blend in, so we just give that a quick blast, and then we don't contaminate the colours when we start to add the white paint over the top. I quite like that. It's slightly off central, so I'm happy with that one. And I think that's plenty on there. Now before I add the white dots, I think I'm going to add a couple of leaves in, because originally I was going to put leaves in and I didn't do. So I'm just going to pop a couple of leaves in there. Nothing fancy schmancy. I'm going to use the Kiwi Green, the Cadence Premium paint. And actually, let's work from the lid. We don't need to take that off, do we? I'm going to swap brushes, and favourite brush, I love this. Love number 18 Gold Line. Just look, love the end of that. So there we go. I'll get some paints on here, and I'm just going to pop some shapes in. Really, I'm going to put one there. So that would be a leaf going in that direction, and I will do a leaf going out of here down this way, and there'd be one going off that we can't see in that way. We will add some leaves at the top, so bear with, let me just get angle to dangle right. We'll have one coming down there, and we'll have one going up there. I'll have a leaf there as well. Just illusions of leaves. Completely forgot to draw these in. Hey ho. Make that leaf a little bit bigger there, and we'll have a little bit of something there. So do we give her a bit more coming down? Oh yeah, why not? Just a small one there though. Okay. That's a little better. So we'll dry that one off. Clean the brush. And make sure that the acrylic paint, excuse me, is totally dry. See, it's bubbling up there. That was a little thicker, but I don't mind the texture because we're going to add texture to her anyway. But the acrylic paint needs to be dry before you go over with your paint pen, otherwise you're just going to disturb it. And you'll contaminate your paint pen as well. And if you're using a white one, you will not be happy. Slip of coffee, get rid of the frog. Cold coffee, my favourite. Okie dokie, so let's get some black pen. So we've got a leaf going off there. I'll just give it leaf, 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 leaf. See, just roughly. Do more than one line if you want to keep in with the sketchy style. Oops, took that the wrong way, but we can sort that. Just an illusion. Not being Picasso. That's a little bit bigger. And that had another leaf going off in that direction. There we go. Dog number 2's arriving. Now dog number 2 is very needy. You might get to meet dog number 2 in a moment. Okie doke. So we will have that leaf going on. That's a big leaf. And we will do more sketchy because the pen catches on the canvas, on the texture. So it kind of gives it a sketching look anyway. Same style again, nothing fancy schmancy, just an illusion. I think that will go on my gravestone. Here lies Elizabeth. She was nothing fancy schmancy, she was just an illusion. That's actually quite cool. Okay, happy with that leaf. I'm going to do one more down here. I've gone quiet, haven't I? That's because I'm chilling out now. Coffee's kicking in. I'm chilled out. I'm in my happy room. And I've got my paints out. Sunday morning. Bliss. See, that's all right, better already. Much happier with that headdress now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add white highlights onto the newly formed leaves and the flower. Just make sure the black paint pen is dry. I mean, I could go around the edges of the face with the black paint pen as well, but I decided to leave it with the pencil in the fine line micron, so it wasn't quite so harsh. I wanted the headdress to stand out more. So we're going to pop back on, we're going to give the white Storytime marker a shake, and I'm going to pop on and I'm going to give this orange flower some dots. In fact, there we go. Hope you can see these are quite subtle because I'm using the smaller of the pens. I had a few in random places to the flower and more in the centre. So it's just building up layers to the centre of the flower. And then actually let's add some more. Let's just go random dot crazy. And some highlights on the leaves. random dot crazy over here. I think I've already gone random dot crazy with this one, and we'll go make sure the paint is flowing. And I think that's just about it for the headdress. I'm quite happy with the headdress, how it's going now, so we'll give her a quick dry. Dries in a flash. The paint pens always dry quite quickly, so it's worthwhile just taking a step back, drying it before you move on to the next part of the plan. So there we go, she's quite dry. So the other thing that I really wanted to do was just to add a little more detail to the background. She needs a little bit of something blingy going on in the background. She needs some metallic. So I'm going to use the Dora. I had the hybrid metallic, the multi-surface paint. I'm using platinum. Platinum's a really good colour. If you don't want silver, you don't want gold, platinum is a really good hybrid of the two, in my opinion. Oh, looky, it's a new pot. Ooh, open, come on. Let's christen this new pot. If I can get in it. There we go, we're in. We are in. We have lift off. There we go. So not want to waste anything. Let's take some off on there, and I'm going to scrape down my canvas the way I did in the first part of the video, because what this is going to do is just going to add a few highlights here and there. I don't want full on bling, but we do want some shine when it catches the light. So I'll take paint off the paint pot lid. Let's just use this. Ooh, look at that. Let's just add some on this side as well. Oops, I took her ear out again. We nearly lost the ear yesterday. There's something about that ear. We're on a bit of a Picasso kind of. Was it Picasso that took his ear off? I always forget. I know it's one of them. One of them did. Let's have a little more. You see, you didn't know it was making that wonderful noise yesterday, did you? When we fast forward music over the top. There we go. I think that's just about enough. Let's pop the lid on you. And as that paint dries, just clear off, and then I don't stick my fingers in any of it, you're going to get the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sheen that catches the light. Okay, so we'll just give that a very quick blast. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous with the turquoise and green behind. That platinum is absolutely delicious, and yet when the light isn't catching it, it's the softest sheen. If you're not a full-on bling person, the platinum is definitely the way to go. Beautiful, look at that. Absolutely yummy. So the other thing that I wanted to do was actually pop the jewellery back on. Oh, this isn't a quick video, is it? So what are we going to give her? Should we give her a circle? Yeah, I think a disc of some sort. I think I did a disc yesterday, so we'll go with a disc. About there. Here it comes. And we'll do a disc on the inside. and we'll have it on a cord, so we'll curve it that way, and we will curve it that way. In fact, that could do with just curving a little bit further. There we go. So that's where the necklace is going to be, and I think because I actually coloured the earrings in white, I am just going to, yeah, I'm going to pop in a little bit of white just into that centre with the gesso, just a tad, so that they're both the same. And just a small amount. I am terrible, I don't know about you guys. I'll start doing something, I think, all right, I'll just do, you know, XYZ, and then that's it, done, job done. And then you start doing XYZ, and then you kind of flip back, and you're at the beginning of the alphabet doing A, B, C, D, all the way back through, and XYZ again. Never know when to walk away. Okay, so I'm happier now that she's got her necklace on, and I was going to give her some little wings, but I'm not going to do with this one, but I am going to give her some jewellery. And I don't know, what about turquoise jewellery? Turquoise and white? That's a plan. You see, these are absolutely gorgeous. This is liquid jewellery from Cadence, and this is the turquoise, and it's absolutely beautiful. And what it is, it creates, it's a thicker medium, and it creates a beautiful little pearl. And these are great because you can use them on fabric, and as long as you let it dry and let it set, you can wash the fabric, so you can decorate t-shirts and all sorts. I should paint a t-shirt, shouldn't I? Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a plan. Maybe now I've got going and I'm getting, you know, a bit more brave, sharing my own stuff. Maybe I should start doing a bit more. So let's do some tiny little pearls. So squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. If they go too close together, they will stick together, and they will join, so you won't get the individual pearls. So always leave a little gap in between and let them settle, and the peak will drop down and you'll get these beautiful little pearls, and they are absolutely gorgeous when they're dried. I'm going to go around the outside with this one. I do slightly bigger ones on here. Take your time. And I'm going to go around the inside as well, and because I know how clumsy I am, I'm going to do parts of that at the same time. And then I'm not leaning over the part I've already done. Squeezing the tube's a little bit hard, I've got to say. It's not the tube, it's me. I had surgery not long ago, and I am just getting my grip back on my hand, and it's been a heck of a journey, let's just put it that way. But we're back. We can draw again. Not that we stopped drawing, it's just got less wobbly lines now. There we go. So I think she's looking pretty blinged up at this point. We have, there is a black one, and I did wonder about going back in with the flowers and adding some centres in there, but I don't think I want to do that. The only thing I may do is add some pink blobs. Oh yeah, let's do pink blobs on that top one. See? Totally off plan. Fuchsia pink paint, special equipment. Let's move this down a bit without damaging, knocking those, and we'll just pop a couple of these in onto there. So now what we've done is we've taken the pink onto the orange and the orange onto the pink, and I think I'm going to just add a couple of blobs just to take the colour out. Of there. And we'll do the same here. Take that round her face and up there. In fact, we'll just take a few pink dots around, and then it ties the canvas together. And clean the end of the brush. Lid on, lid on. And I think I'm probably going to call her done, she says, picking up the white pearl drops. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, we will add just a couple of, oops, there we go, a couple of white pearls in there, but only just a couple, just for texture, just because we can. Not very many at all, but we'll just pop some without leaning it in anything. Texture in there, and then I think I just want to add just a couple down here, and hope that these don't move too much. Oh, you see, now I'm looking at the dress, but I am going to walk away from the dress because I think I might carry on and maybe do some more doodling down there. Who knows? We'll just add a little darker line to the necklace just to take it round. That little bit darker going around that way without catching that. Okay, so for me, I am going to call her done. I'm going to leave her to dry. I'm going to let these pearls settle. There's a couple that are merging into each other because I've actually moved the canvas, and I hope you can see. And when she's dry, I will stand her up and take a photograph for you so you can see. I say finished, I just might do more doodling on that dress. Can't resist. So I hope you don't mind the video ended up being in 2 parts, and thank you for bearing with me on my journey of learning how to do the YouTubes. And I know I talk a lot with my hands because when I take my voice out and I put the music over the top, they're doing this all the time. So I'll just say thank you very much, and see you again. Bye.